What is up? Welcome back to Project Freelance Season 5. If you hear crickets in the background, I'm sorry. It's because there are crickets in the background. I have some lizards. I got them some food. So the food is upset, to say the least. But other than that, I just wanted to say hello. I got another rating. I have 40 ratings on Project Freelance right now. There are 40 ratings, but I'm pretty sure it was a 1-star rating. So whoever gave me that 1-star rating, why didn't you leave a review? You should have left a review so I would know why you left a 1-star rating. That's all I'm saying. I'm not mad about the rating. I'm just mad you didn't leave a review to let people know why you left a 1-star rating. So that's kind of fucked up, but whatever. Welcome to Project Freelance. How's it going, guys? This week on the podcast, I have my friend Ian. He goes by Chamoisdead on Instagram. So, Chamo and we met at a photography meetup, and after that, we started exploring a couple abandoned places together. We've tried to get into 3 places, and we've gotten to 2 out of 3 places. And then we recently, the day we actually are recording this podcast, we hit 3 other places, and we got into all of them successfully and filmed a bunch of promo footage for my Abandoned World photography book called No Tracers, an Urban Explorer's Diary. If you guys want to see the promo footage that we made, the promo video, you can go to youtube.com/justtheletterk. You can see the promo video. You can also see an unboxing of my first ever photography book. I'm super excited about it. It is now available for pre-order. If you want to snag a copy of the book, if you like urban exploration, if you like photography, if you like abandoned places, you should definitely check this book out. It is a collection of photos from abandoned places around the world that I've visited over the past 3 years, and it's got diary entries on almost every page. There's 82 pages. It's $60, and it's going to be signed, and I'm actually going to be putting a print in the book as well, like a separate print. So I'll mail you a print with the book, and the print will be signed and the book will be signed. So that's pretty much what we're doing with the No Tracers and Urban Explorer's Diary. If you want to pick up a copy, go to justtheletterk.com/no tracers. The link will be down in the description below. But other than that, thank you for coming back for another episode of Project Freelance. This week, Chamo and I are going to be talking, or Ian, whatever you want to call him, but I call him Chamo. So Chamo and I are going to be talking about freelance photography. We're going to be talking about what he does with his job. He kind of does some freelance event photography on the side, and he shoots models as well, and he does all kinds of stuff. But I really wanted to talk with another urban explorer on the podcast, somebody that likes abandoned buildings, so that he could share his stories of the experiences he has had while exploring abandoned buildings. And for those of you that are listening to this because you want tips and tricks on how to explore abandoned buildings, we might give you a few little nuggets in this podcast, but we really do dive into the dangers of urban exploration because it is not the safest pastime to take part in. There are druggies, there are people with guns, like there's gang members, there's all kinds of people that could be in abandoned places, and we're not really technically allowed to be in a lot of these places unless we get permission to be there, or if the cops are chill that day or the security guards are chill and let us in, which has been the case a couple of times for myself personally. But on the other hand, Chamo has been held at gunpoint a couple times by the police, and so I wanted to have him on to share his stories about what he's experienced while exploring abandoned buildings here in California. Without further ado, Chamo, do me a favor, tell the people who you are and what you are all about, my man.
My name is Ian. People call me Chamo. I am 24 years old. What do I do for a living? I work for Bait.
And what do you do for them?
I do warehouse. I also do event photography for them, whether that's their parties or like their actual like cons that they participate in, which is Anime Expo, WonderCon, Comic-Con, all that type of stuff. That's what I do. Yeah.
And then what about like freelance photography, like model photography, stuff like that?
Yeah, I do that too. So it's funny because like the warehouse is my actual like 9 to 5 job, and then my side job is the event photography and all that type of stuff that Bait needs as well. And then the side stuff that I do is I actually do like the content creating and all that type of stuff. Kind of like what you do, but on a smaller level. I do it on a smaller level. So I'll sometimes work on music videos or a lot of BTS for products or promos or anything really. So yeah, sounds really boring, but it's really not. I don't even know how to really explain it. Yeah, that's what I do as well. I do a lot of that type of stuff.
So what got you into photography? Like, what inspired you to pick up a camera in the first place?
Oh my god, this is a. I'm gonna just give it to you straight. So this was like, this was like high school. This is so 2013. I want to say 2013. I had a ex-girlfriend now. But we still talk. We're cool. But like, I broke up with her, and she was like the best thing in my life, you know. So I was just fucking depressed. I was depressed as hell. And what happened is that like I was so depressed, I was just moping around about her, you know. And I just couldn't stop thinking about her. So everyone's like, "Hey, why don't you just do something to, you know, to take your mind off of her?" And I was like, "All right, you know, like what?" So I tried a couple things, you know. And I was like, it's not really working. And then one time, and then I went to Oregon. And this is when like Tumblr was super popular back in the day. So, you know, and over there in Oregon, everything's just nature. Everything's just beautiful. So still, here I am in the car with my sister in the back of the car. And I'm still moping around my ex-girlfriend. And for some reason, I just look outside. I'm like, wow, this is really nice, you know? I'm just going to download this app called Visco or whatever. And this is on my phone. And I told my sister, hey, you know, why don't you just go stand over there and I'll take a picture of you. She's like, cool. And I don't know, I just edited that photo. And it's probably still on my Instagram to this day. But I was like, hey, you know, this is really cool. I like taking this photo. I like editing it. Maybe I can just, you know, do it as a hobby. And sure enough, you know, I just kept doing that with my phone, and ended up getting more serious. Till like maybe like a couple of months later, I bought my first camera, which was a Nikon D3200. Yeah, this was like late 2013, early 2014. Yeah, so depression, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Really bad depression. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So
yeah.
photography like got you out of your depression.
Yeah, in a weird way. Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. It made me forget about a lot of things, actually. It made me forget about college and obviously her, that my ex-girlfriend, and like a lot of the stuff that I was going through with my parents and all that. It made me forget that I was kind of alone also, like in a weird way. Like I had this camera that I can just take pictures of anything I ever wanted to, you know? And I was so busy and occupied with the next thing. Like, okay, like I took a picture of this car. Now I want to take a picture of this train, or now this flower, like little things here and there. And I was just so busy and occupied with that and editing that, like, I just kept going.
You
like,
just didn't have time to dwell on anything or
No.
think about anything else.
think about nothing. Like, I mean, I was so sad, sure, but I think this was a good tool to like help process what happened, I guess, or like whatever I was trying to go through, and just forget about whatever it is I was trying to forget about. But yeah, that really helped me just forget about her and a lot of things, and I just kept going with it.
So for listeners, Chamo and I met at a photography meetup in Los Angeles.
That was like
2016 or whatever.
Right, so it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years.
So how did you find out about the meetups?
How did I find out? Oh, okay, so I had a friend whose name is Jeek. Shout out Jeek. His ad is Jeek of Visuals. And we used to go to church together. And he was like, hey, you know, I'm a photographer too. I can teach you how to do some stuff. And I was like whatever. You know, like I was like, whatever. Like, screw this guy, whatever. But I was like, yeah, whatever. Teach me whatever. And he taught me a lot of stuff, composition and all that. And you know, and I guess when he thought I was ready, he was like, hey, do you want to go to this photography meet? And I was like, yeah. But this is before I even had a camera. This was like, I still had my phone. And it was 2013, 2014. It wasn't even a street meet. It was like just a photo meet. And it was, are you familiar with Blue Bottle Cafe?
No.
No? Okay. Well, it's just a cafe place, but they had their actual, like, they actually had a meet. And it's right there next to the 6th Street Bridge. Well, what was once the
Right.
6th Street Bridge. I don't know Blue Bottle's there, but they just hosted a meet, and I went there with my iPhone 5, and Jake had his.
Oh, I think I know it. I think I know the place.
It's like right around the corner.
Yeah,
like,
I think I know the place.
It's where that like little warehouse is for True Religion is like
Yeah.
down right. It's like right there.
Okay.
It's like right there, and they had a meet, and we went under the bridge, under the 6th Street Bridge, and we are just taking pictures, and those photos you can also find on that bottom of my Instagram. And I was like, this is really cool, like seeing all these people with their phones and just hanging out with each other and all that stuff. But not a street meet though. It was like a hipster meet, like with the sun hats and the white dresses and stuff, But it was cool though. I liked it. It was awesome. It was sick. This was late 2013 also, or early 2014 too. So I've been doing meets for about like 5 years, 5 or 6 years.
How do you think that the meets have helped you develop as a photographer?
Oh geez, dude. I guess once I started to get more serious about my camera, right, Nikon 3200, started going to these meets even more, and that's where you start picking up so many things. I started picking up how to do long expositions, and with long expositions, you can shoot trains, you can shoot cars, you can shoot lights, you can shoot steel wool. So I started doing that too, and I learned how to do steel wool. I embarrassed the shit out of myself. It was funny. It really teaches you a lot. So these photo meets also kind of got a little bit competitive. So what it really taught me, which I really thank God for these meets, is to set my settings really fast without even looking. Like I knew my camera at the back of my hand. You know what I mean? So it was just a rush. So you're shooting at night. With a Canon, with a Nikon 3200, it ain't working. You know what I mean? So I had 35 with a 1.8, so shooting at night was kind of hard. But I would really, it would like the composition and holding your breath while shooting at like a 20th of a second at a 1.8 with an ISO of 4, because you never want to go more than 600 on that Nikon.
Yeah,
and like. I call it a sniper shot because, like, when I'm about to shoot, I just hold my breath and go, click, and then, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I got it. Like, I pray to God I had it. I go home and edit it. Like, yes, I got it. So settings for sure was one thing, and then knowing what I wanted to shoot. Because in the beginning, you don't really know what you want to shoot.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm going to go just figure it out.
Right, take a picture of this tree, this mountain, whatever, and then what I started to do was like, oh, I really want to like take pictures of people and like the moment in these meets, and I want the craziest photo the whole day, the fire and all that type of stuff. So it really helped me figure out what I wanted to shoot, and with that came an audience, pretty much, or the supporters, the followers, and all that type of stuff. So what I got from it was really just composition, the settings, and kind of what it started my career, pretty much, all that type of stuff.
So for you guys listening, the photo meet's basically what it is. If you've ever seen like Fast and Furious, they kind of like text you a location and a time and you show up. But it's on Instagram, so it's like a little bit less crazy than like Fast and Furious. But that's what I compare it to when people are like, "What are these photo meetups?" I'm like, "Yo, it's like Fast and Furious. They send you the location, the date, and then the time, the day of, and you show up, and there could be 20 people there. There could be 600 people there. You just don't know."
You don't. That'd be so sick if they did text you like,
right? If they just shot you a text,
be here. Like that's it. Like, oh, okay.
Come prepared.
BYOB. Like, okay, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much like that. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're gonna be here. Be here. Like,
be here. Cool. Be here or don't be here.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how many meets I've done, dude. I've lost track of the first year. I probably did 70, like just 70 alone. Wow. And this wasn't even street meets. This was like Blue Bottle and like. This is really old group, and I want to give them a shout out too. They were called All Mediums Accepted. All Mediums Accepted with these 3 guys, and they really just put on a show. And one of the first ones, they kind of fell out though, but they started doing a lot of meets, and they did like, I don't know, they probably did like 5 or 10 of them. So I went to all of those, and then Blue Bottle Cafe meets, and then just like random people just started doing their own little meets. It was like 5 people, and I was like, yeah, let's go, And that was really cool. That was really awesome. Good times. Sorry, I'm just like reminiscing a little bit here. Yeah.
No, man, the meets have changed. Like they changed my life. Like literally. Like
They
totally,
do, right?
totally.
You just grow.
You grow so much as a photographer. Like what you were saying. Like shooting, getting your settings faster and shooting in the moment faster. It just makes you a better like journalist, like documentary, creator in that sense. And that's totally my thing, which is why I think I vibe so much with the meetups.
They're cool, man. Like they're cool. Just being there is cool because like you're just surrounded with people that just love to do exactly what you do. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get the rotten ones. Sometimes you get whatever. Like whatever. Every scene's gonna be like that. But like there's really cool people out there, and I want to just say like I want to say at least 80% of the people I talk to every day are like really good friends that I met at meetups. Like I'm not just like, oh yeah, what's up, dude? Like I don't even see like I see them at their houses. I've met their families, their sons, their daughters. Like we hang out. You know what I mean? So like the meets help me grow as an individual too. Especially with the social anxiety. So back to like the whole depression thing in high school. I didn't even talk. Like I just played video games, watched Netflix. I think Netflix was a thing back then, and then just I didn't even talk, And then when I went to these meets, Jake would do most of the talking, and he'd only speak Spanish. So like, it was really kind of hard, And then it really just brought me out of my comfort zone. And once you get pushed out of your comfort zone, there's no going back.
Yeah, you
so
can't go back in that box.
Yeah, there's no way. And you could, but it's a weird feeling. You're like, oh no, I already talked to this guy. I have to say hi. And you just say hi to one person, you meet the other guy, and then, next thing you know, you have thousands of followers, and now you have to talk. You're just like, oh, hey, what's up? But you develop a personality, too.
Totally.
And you find out things about yourself that you really you never thought you'd know, I guess. It's crazy. Crazy life.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can say the same, but I mean, I've traveled around the country with these people from these meetups, lifelong friendships from this stuff. Just because you have so much in common. I mean, you love photography. That's a huge part of our lives.
Photography is an amazing part because, you see things differently now.
Totally. Oh, yeah, you totally see things differently. Everything looks like an opportunity.
Yeah, like anything. You can go outside and there's, a brick wall, and
but you're like, damn, that brick wall.
Yeah, you're like, I can change the color of that brick wall. Or I can, put something in front of it. And, it's anything. Like, I look at a tree and the first thought I see when I see a tree is I can change the color of that tree. Like, instead of green, it could be orange or red. And I have a photo, actually, where I changed everything to red. It was really amazing, but it's just like you can do anything you want, really. It's just a matter of Lightroom. I don't use Photoshop. I really don't use Photoshop. I don't either. It's hard, right?
It's difficult. Lightroom's very user-friendly and super easy to learn.
I can't think in layers. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think in layers. I think of, just... normal stuff, I guess you could say.
Like a painting, kind of.
Yeah. Like a painting, pretty much, yeah. And so, photography, you just see everything differently. Even when you're watching movies or just, another photo, I used to hate photography so much, going back to my ex, I went to her house, right? And she had a picture of, this 8x11 black and white tree. It was just in her room, just chilling, And I was such an asshole. But and I was just like, what's stupid, And she's like, what? And I was like, that photo. I hate photography. Legit. I'm trying to quote unquote what I said here. And I was like, I hate photography because that photo, for example, you can take a picture, put it black and white, and call it art or something like that, And then she's like, she was just trying to, be nice to me or whatever, but I feel bad, I always tell her that story, and then she's like, look at you now, and I'm like, I know, but I used to hate photography, and now I like it. I really do love it. It's amazing, and it really paved. Yeah, paved. Sorry, it paved a career path for me for sure. Yeah.
Who are some of the local photographers that you looked up to when you were starting to go out, shoot more meets, do all this stuff?
So local was just just Jeek, really. So in the beginning it was just Jeek, cause it was just me and him from the day one. He's my day one, so was Josh. And he taught me everything I had to know. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be where I am right now, I guess you could say. So it was Jeek, and that's it at that moment. But now, like if I want to say like, oh, like all the really like I think dope people around my area would be Jeek, my best friend Josh, my other best friend, her name is Michael. Um, uh, there's another guy named Menace. He's a really good photographer as well. He does like lifestyle stuff. I think that's like the only like local, because we're out here in like my area.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of like photographers, and if there are, it's more like professional, like, oh, we do weddings,
Quinceañeras,
stuff like that. It's cool, but I'm not really down with that. But for like street stuff, yeah, it's only like us really that we like represent the IE really over here. Yeah,
for sure. So, as far as these events go that you're shooting, what is your process when you go into these events? I mean, like, what are you capturing? What do you go into it with, like mindset wise?
It's just a hell of anxiety in the beginning, dude. You still get that, like, anxiety?
Totally, always.
But
it's not as much. Now I feel way more confident, but if it's like a new gig or something, then yeah. For sure.
But it's funny because, okay, for me, I don't know about you, but like, I get a hell of anxiety the day before, right?
Oh, totally.
Or sometimes I can't even sleep. Like, okay, do I have everything done? Do I have everything ready? And then when I get to the place, I'm like, why was I so anxious? Like, this is so easy. Like, I don't know. But so the mentality I get into, first I'll get the text or the email, like, hey, we want this, want that. Okay, cool, whatever. And I have to make sure everything is ready, cameras, SD cards, everything. What I really look for, first I just ask them, hey, if they didn't give me a list, hey, what do you really need? What do you really want? Like, what do you need now and type of stuff. And if they say, hey, just go for it. All right, I'm going to get the best shots I think that are like what you want. You know what I mean? For most events, that's just kind of how it is. Like, hey, the person would be like, hey, you know what? I trust you. You have all access to anything you want. Go for it. Just do BTS. Cool, And what I try to do is try to find moments where, let's say a music video, I always try to find celebrities talking to other people, or like when they're in a dance move or in a pose, or smiling or laughing. Like, I'll just try to capture that moment. For other events, kind of like just BTS or like promo and stuff, I mean, that's pretty easy too. It's really not that hard. I just kind of just take pictures of like whatever the focus is or whatever the product is or anything really.
So you guys do a lot of product stuff.
I do a lot of product stuff too, but lately I've been doing like the more the music videos and shooting the rappers type of stuff. I feel like product is harder. Well, no, I agree.
I think it's harder. I think it's hard to shoot products.
Yeah, because they don't really do anything,
They don't do anything.
So it's kind of easy but hard.
Yeah.
But sometimes so I'll take a picture of like, let's say like this cup, and it's easy. I'll just take a picture of the cup, but I'm like, I overthink it. Like, oh, maybe I should like have it in this lighting or like this dramatic, I don't know, tilt or something. I don't know. Like, I just kind of overthink it. But it just really depends on the mind state, really, I guess you could say. But in the beginning, it's just a lot of anxiety. And at the end, it's a lot of anxiety, too, because it's just like, all right, do they want it? They want me to edit them? Do they want to edit them? Should I edit the way I edit them? Should I just do the black and white? Like, it's just like, oh, God. Sometimes I just overthink it. But it's still fun, though. I'll give you that. It's very fun. Very fun.
So let's shift into talking about, my favorite thing to talk about is abandoned places. Which is what I do when I'm not freelancing,
Where we just came from now.
Actually. We just spent like, we spent 4 hours trying to get home from the Vandal.
That was so bad.
Just sat in traffic for literally 2 hours.
Oh my God. Never again.
It was so fucked. We went off-roading.
Never. We went off
in a Toyota Corolla.
That was so sick, but it was so scary at the same time. And we actually high-fived, and it was really cool.
It was great.
Yeah. Abandoned places. So abandoned places. So at this point I had my Nikon 3200. I had 35 millimeters. Stock lens was like 18 to 55 or whatever. But here's the thing: I never even knew what abandoned place was. Like, I knew what it is, You kind of like just see them on the freeway.
But you didn't know that like exploring abandoned places was like a thing.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. And I was like, people do this? That's weird. And so I had a friend named Jose. shout out Jose, who also went to my church and was one of Jake's friends and all that. We all knew each other, and he was like, hey, you're a photographer. Jake's a photographer. Do you want to hang out? I was like, yeah, sure. What do you want to shoot? And he's like, there's this abandoned place around this area, like probably like 15 minutes from here. And he's like, do you want to go check it out? And I was like, abandoned place? I was like, I mean, I guess, I don't know, like whatever, At this point, I haven't even seen like abandoned places on like Instagram or Flickr or 500px or anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, like whatever, okay. And wasn't even nervous about trespassing. Knew nothing about abandoned places. And then went to that place. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, this is cool. A lot of glass, a lot of broken things, But like the weird thing was, the first time I went there, I didn't take any pictures. I was just like, this is kind of weird. But after that, I came home and I was like, no, I could have taken a sick picture here, Like I could have done something here. So I went back. Well, I went back like the next week. And I just took a couple pictures and I was like, oh, this is sick, This is cool. Like, you don't get to see this that often, Like you don't see abandoned places that often. And I was like, okay, this is cool, And I kept going to that same abandoned place. I kept practicing there, like lights, composition, shadows, because like a lot of abandoned places are shadows and light. So
it's
really
just natural lighting.
Yeah, it's really weird. So
it's like you get what you get, photograph it.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm still shooting JPEG. I don't even shoot RAW.
Oh,
so it's like it is what you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
So the colors are already in there, and I was like, oh, these are cool, And I started posting them, and then I started getting a little bit of an attention from the local people. They were like, oh, you shoot abandoned places? You should take me. And I was like, oh, I only know one, So I took a lot of people there. Probably like 30 people there. We don't even talk anymore, but it's cool. But it took a lot of people there, and then I just kept getting better at it. I just kept going to the same place. And the cool thing about that bando was that every 2-3 weeks, new things would come up. Like now, there's probably like a stripped down Beamer. It's stripped down, no wheels, no nothing. And there's like skating things in there, like ramps and stuff, so people skate in there. And
wow.
Yeah, like you could throw a party in there. It's cool. So that was pretty much the gateway for sure. Was like abandoned that first abandoned building, and also like this was a time where like I was still like with the whole depression thing with my ex-girlfriend, and I felt like I was just really depressed, And then being in these abandoned buildings was like, hey, I really relate to these things because like they're just broken, Like
you're like, this is how I feel.
Yeah, this sounds really like so cliche and dumb, but I was like, I'm just as broken on the inside as this abandoned building, like it's really sad. Like it's just really sad. Like it looks broken on the outside, like on the inside, it's cold, it's raw, it's just like destroyed. People step on it all the time. People just come in and out of it, and I was just like, well, not in and out of me like sexually, but like out of my life, like out of my life, people just come in and out, and I was like thinking of every little detail, and I was like, yeah, I really do just like I compare myself to abandoned places a lot. I was like, yeah, like it was just like one of the most like one-on-one connection I've ever had with anything in my life. Like not a tree, not a rooftop. Like it was just abandoned places. Like this is like I literally said I would sleep in an abandoned. Like I would sleep in a bando if I could, if I wanted to. No Airbnb. Bring my like sleeping bag and just like sleep in a bando if I could. Yeah. So like that was just so crazy. And now I've probably shot more than 100 bandos. I've been caught, like... I've had guns pointed at me maybe once or twice, but getting caught, like, maybe like 4 or 5 times is not a lot.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at, like, sneaking around. I'm a skinny guy, so I'll always just, like, fit in, like, some weird, like, not drawer, but, like, hole in the wall or something and wait for the cop to go or something like that. Yeah. I've hit bandos only in California. Actually, I've only hit bandos in California. Wow. Yeah, I hate traveling. It's only I love traveling, but not
on
flying. I don't do planes. So I'm probably never gonna hit like the Chicago or Chicago bandos or whatever. But yeah, man, bandos are sick.
So talk about some of the other places you've explored that are in Los Angeles that are are or were abandoned, and like the art you created and what came from that.
Oh man.
Like the church.
So just to say this first, I never hit that OG jail spot, the jail one. I never hit that one.
The Lincoln Heights.
Yeah, I never hit that one.
It's super sketchy.
Maybe I will one day. Yeah,
Sketchy
you're
as
telling me
fuck.
your story. Every story I hear is just sketchy, and I'm like, no thanks, I'm good. So the ones I have, and God, I hope there's no cops listening, but if I say just like what they are and not the names, is that cool?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So I've hit 2 hospitals. They're very close to each other. I don't want to say where really, but if you're an abando guy or an explorer and you're around the LA area, you probably know. They're probably like 10 stories high. You probably know what I'm talking about in LA. You can see them from the freeway. And so I've hit those 2. And man, they're so fun. Like, I would have never thought you can go inside there and just explore. And for people who don't really know what's inside, check this out. Okay, so I was with... Man, it was me. Do you know Raw File, Sergio?
Yeah.
Okay, and this was like 2015. I'm hanging out with the big boys. You know what I mean? And I'm with We Own the Night leader, Psycho Rob. It's us 3, maybe someone else. I don't remember. And we go to the first abandoned place, not the surgical room one, the one with just like the beds and all that type of stuff. And the only way to get in, mind you, it's like it's a hospital, so it's guarded, obviously with cops. There's like 4 squad cars around. You can't go to the front entrance anymore or the back or anything. So what we had to do was we had to climb to the 2nd or 3rd floor from the outside. Like not like it was not safe. First of all, like we got to a wall, had to get on the 1st level roof, and to get to the 2nd level, we had to get on like some pipes that were like doing like Z's and L's shaped stuff. And the window was like broken into, so there was still glass shards around. Like there was glass shards on the floor, there was still glass in the window. Like there was no way I was gonna punch the glass out or anything. So literally, and it was a small window, maybe like I mean it was okay, I guess. I don't know how to really. I'm not really good with measurements, but let's say it was about like 3 or 4 feet tall or whatever, and there's glass still on it. So literally, when you had to go in, you had to put your backpack in first, and then get into this window, like, cause in the middle of the window, like where your belly is, there's a glass shard sticking out. So like, you have to do this weird like dolphin like thing into the window. Dive, yeah, like a dolphin dive into the window. And so that's like one of the issues. And then when you go in, it's just like dark and light, but it's so cool because you get to see these surgical rooms. And sorry, that one didn't have a surgical room. It just had surgery tables, and there's like those 2 big lights on the top where they're doing surgery on you. They just like illuminate your insides pretty much, and you walk around and there's just like emptiness and beds and graffiti and all types of stuff. In the morgue, oh gosh, the morgue. People who don't know what the morgue is, like where they put the dead bodies and stuff. You see that. You don't see bodies. You don't see bodies. You just see stuff like
just
that.
Just the locker that they go in.
The lockers, the crematory, all that type of stuff, Oh man, it's so fun. So I've done those 2 abandoned hospitals, and I've done some that are not they're not here anymore. So like that one that we went to, I think that's like an abandoned textile mill or something like that.
Yeah,
probably.
It was like a flea market at one point.
Yeah, something like that.
Weird, yeah.
That was cool because I had the couch and you're just chilling there. That was a pretty big place too. That was really cool. That's gone now, so rip to that. Another one that's gone is this like big warehouse. Oh, you would have loved it. Or maybe I did. No, I don't think I've taken you.
No, we only went to that one.
Yeah, and it was just like, it was amazing. It was just like an abandoned, also like another like mill or something, or textile mill. Two floors. And I've been there like maybe 10 times with Isaac and John and Moody and all these type of people. I actually filmed a documentary there. There was a documentary about me in there, but it never came out, so rip to that too. I've actually, like, in that bando, what I remember also is like just walking and then not knowing that there was a hole, so my left foot just like went into a hole and I just like
fell through the floor.
Yeah, I just fell through the floor. Like my body just like kind of caught me, but like I was bruised everywhere and like, yeah. So I've done that. I've done.
Yeah, I think falling to the floor is probably my biggest fear when I'm in a bando.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Not in LA, but there was So I went with this girl who I used to like kind of talk to. It was really weird. I'm not gonna say names, but I hope she doesn't listen to this. If you are, just
shout
don't.
out.
No shout
I'm
out.
just kidding.
No, I think she's talking to someone else now, but whatever. Falling to the floor, we went to this. I don't want to say the city either. It's around here somewhere. It was an abandoned, let's just say school, an abandoned school, and it was 2 stories. And we went inside, and I was on the top floor. And the whole floor is like just like asbestos, really. Wow. So you can't really see like any holes or cracks or anything or whatever. But you could see a little bit of indents, like it's raining and like kind of soggy asbestos. Yeah. So it's like, like some floor is like kind of like wet and like it's weak. I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, okay, whatever, like I'll just like, make sure I step and like test it out, see if it's okay before I go. And it was cool. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I'm going in there, and I only have a 24 millimeter, and at this point, I have the Canon, and I like to shoot really wide and vertically, not horizontally, and I keep backing up, I keep backing up into a wall. I'm on the 2nd floor, and literally, my right foot, like steps back, and just falls through the fucking roof, like it just boom, and like I was like, oh my god. And, like, the only way I saved myself from not going down was, like, my back hitting, like, this, like, wood support beam, like, on the, like, ground for some reason. Like, it was really weird. So, like, my back foot went down. My left foot kind of went down. It was, like, halfway down. And I was, like, doing this weird, like, those commercials where it's, like, help, I can't get up.
Yeah.
The old people with the lifeline. It looked like that. And then the girl comes in, like, oh, my God, are you okay? And I was like...
Do I look okay?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm leaving. Like, let's just go. And I just, like, left that room, dude. Oh, my God. We got to talk about the dangers of bandos, too, actually, because, like...
That's super important to talk about.
Yeah, it's not
safe.
It's not at all. Like,
it's not safe at all.
It's not safe. Yeah, I can take you to the easy one over there, and it's not safe at all. Like, so I've done those bandos, and honestly, I'm kind of, like, blanking out right now. But I've done also like some small bandos, like some small warehouses and all that type of stuff.
You went to that like original church with the pews.
The church. No, not the original church. I didn't go to that one either.
Oh.
Because at this point, I was still making a name for myself.
Yeah.
And not to be mean, but a lot of the LA people don't give out addresses, even though you're kind of established.
Right.
Just is kind of how it is. So I never got in there. I've seen pictures of it, but it went down, so rip to that. But I went to the second church. And I put work on that church, like not work as in tagging or I don't destroy anything at all. But I was so like I'm oh my god, I'm the only person in the world who has that photo where nothing crazy and whatever, But like I had my friend, her name was Lydia Reborn, and I put a white cloth on her, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, just stand between these pews, and the bag has like the whole like the steeple, I guess you could say, and all that type of stuff. And I took a picture without her, photoshopped the legs out, and I called it Holy Spirit, and that shit blew up, dude. Like 2K likes, 3K. Wow. Like the reach was insane, and that's when like I kind of established the name. Like people were like, oh yeah, this guy, he's legit, So I went to that one too. I went there 3 times. The first 2 times were cool. I went with Jake, Josh, I think, and Reborn. The 3rd time, I went with my homie Tony. Shout out Tony. And this was when like the pews were gone. Like the pews were gone. And before there was like in Spanish we call it ofrendas. In English it's tithes. Like when they give you money, like you give tithes.
Yeah.
Tithes to the church. They were all over the floor, so there was money. Like just we found like $1 or something. It was cool. But all that was gone because I guess they were gonna like demolish it or like rebuild it or something. So. We went there, and then we said peace, rip to that. So we went to that church, too. Everyone's been to Sunken City, and there's a bando near the Korean Bell of Friendship everyone knows about. Been to those, the Hawthorne Mall. I haven't been with you yet.
No, we've never been.
No, wait, we went one time, but we couldn't get in.
The security guard stopped us.
Yeah, literally 10 seconds. Like
we were in the parking garage. We didn't even get in the mall. We were in the parking garage.
That was so shitty, dude. That was
sucked.
Bad.
We were like trying to run and be stealth, and he was like, "Hey." We were like, "Well, shit."
Been there 3 times too. It was cool.
I love the Hawthorne Mall. The Hawthorne Mall and one of the hospitals in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
My favorite places.
Hawthorne Mall is cool. Once you're in, no one bothers you. Security guards. Here's the thing about security guards. They just do not care. Like, they're not going to go inside. Like, if they do, then they care too much about their jobs and they should go fuck themselves. Like, honestly, and I'm just trying to, that's me being nice. Like, but it's like, once you're in, and it's like huge, like for people who are not in LA, like it's huge. Like, it's just, think of your mall, your 2-floor mall. No, not even the shop name. It's not even the windows to the shops. It's just,
there's no railings.
there's no railing. It's legit 2 escalators, right? That obviously don't work. Bunch of wood. And the floor's not even done. Like, it's just, I don't even know how this shit is standing still. Like, it's crazy. It's just, it's
holes
like,
in the ceiling, holes in the floor.
And everyone there is cool. There's no, like, crackheads.
There's no crackheads in there. There's just teenagers smoking pot.
Yeah, there's like 12 kids. Like, there's 12-year-old kids just, like, hanging out. Like, oh, my God, look, a stick. And you're like, cool. Like, yeah, I'm in no danger whatsoever. But it's cool to just walk around. You could be there for, like, an hour or two. And I've taken some amazing pictures in there, too. I did a trend photo, and after that, everyone started doing it. I was on the escalator, and I just put that's when, like, when the feet pictures went in. So you would put, like, your shoes in the picture.
Yeah.
And I'm on top
I've
of
taken one of those.
Yeah, I think everyone has.
And
then everyone stopped, too, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I, like, take a pic. Like, I was on top of the escalator, and I'm, like, sitting down. I take a picture of that, like, the whole, like, whatever is the environment. It was cool, man. This was, like, when I was doing bandos, and I just wanted to, like, do trends, and it hit, man. It really did hit. So I've done that mall too. I'm trying to remember more. Oh, that one with the couch. That one was just called the Slauson bando. I remember that. The Slauson couch bando. That's what we called it. So that was that. And I would have to go on my Instagram to look for more, but I've done more than like 50, 100 bandos for sure. Like,
wow.
Yeah. And I mean, if you want to count like 3 trips, yeah, I mean, it's just like. But here's the thing, though, man. I need to get out of California, dude, because, like, man. Oh, San Francisco. I've been to San Francisco, too, and I did bandos there. Have you done?
What did you hit there?
Point Reyes.
Yeah, we did Point Reyes.
Yeah, but that's easy.
Yeah, because that's a tourist spot.
So funny thing is, I went there. Yeah, I didn't know
Point
that.
Reyes is, for everyone that doesn't know, Point Reyes is like a shipwreck in San Francisco, and it's literally a tourist spot.
You can literally find it on Yelp.
It's on Yelp. It has a review.
It has 4 stars. It's funny because, like, I'm with my best friend Matt. I'm like, all right, Matt, if I don't come back out, like, look for me in 10, 15 minutes. And he's like, all right, whatever. And like, I'm sneaking in, and there's a hole in the gate. And I'm like, oh, for sure. Like, I sneak in there, and I'm crouched. I'm just like, okay, like, I'm gonna fucking just like go through here, make it, and then like, I just run for it, and I don't really run for it. I kind of like sprint, walk fast. And then like, I get to the entrance, and out comes a mom and 3 kids doing a fucking like pageant shoot or whatever. And I was like, what the? I look like a douchebag. Like, what did I just do? I just snuck into a bando that like some mom was taking pictures of her kids. I was like, Jesus,
that's
this
hilarious.
Is so... Yeah, but it's cool though. It's like a big
cool
warehouse. It's a big warehouse, and there's like a couple cars in there and like some tagging obviously, and there's like a little thing where you could go upstairs, like some stairs and all that type of stuff. And I still have some photos that I'm editing from that, but that was cool. And then did you go into the abandoned boats next door?
No.
Yeah, there's some abandoned boats. Like, okay, so Point Reyes, right? And then you go.
I mean, I've seen the Point Reyes shipwreck, just the one though.
There's like 1 or 2 of them you can go on. Yeah, and I went in there and that's when I fucking dropped my phone and the whole fucking San Francisco birthday trip. I had no phone, but you can go in those boats, and I just took some photos in there too, and I just put like a little like cost and preset on it, and it was sick.
Yeah, I've won like photography awards for like the Point Reyes shipwreck photos.
Really?
That I've taken, yeah.
I haven't seen those yet. I haven't seen your photos then. Yeah. We weren't friends. Probably not.
I went in like when did I go? 2018.
Oh no. Oh,
20.
Oh yeah, we were
when
friends.
When did I go to San Francisco? I don't remember. I think it was 2018 in the summer.
But you went with Viker, right?
Yeah, I went with Vikers. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Viker. Yeah, Viker and I go way back actually too. But yeah, so I've done those bandos too, and obviously Treasure Island. You've done Treasure Island too, right?
Mm-mm.
You never done Treasure Island?
I don't even know what it is.
No, it's a legend in San Fran. They tore it down though. But like, think of like a 3-4 story circular bando.
Wow.
And like, and you can see the inside. Like, if you're on top, you can see the inside. Like, it's just like a Coliseum type thing, but like super smaller, obviously. Like this cup. It was kind of like this. but like whiter, obviously.
course.
And like, yeah, it was sick. And I had this photo, and I met this guy. I forgot his name. I think it was like Team Money or something. So shout out that guy if he's still around or something. He showed me around. I have this picture where he's like jumping, and I just like edited a UFO like on the top. Like,
sick.
I was just trying to do something with bandos, you know. And I went with Moody and Jay. Shout out them. Yeah, I went with them, and it was just like a crazy thing to go to San Francisco and for bandos and stuff. What else have I done?
Yeah, you got to get out of California for sure.
I need to get out of Cali, man. Like, there's some sick ass bandos out there. Like, people. Okay, I want to give a shout out to everyone who's in like the East Coast, like Mississippi and Pittsburgh and Chicago, Illinois and Detroit. Like, dude, y'all have the sickest band. Like, yeah, come to California, sure, but like, our bandos compared to them are not like no. There's nothing. You guys have jails and everything. Like, oh my god. You know what else? The Malibu bando. The bando. Have you been to that one yet? The two mansions around.
I know
the Malibu
about
area?
them, but I've never been. So we should go.
Those are
for
sick.
sure.
Those were. I don't even know. They're hot.
They're probably not. Oh, they're hot.
Yeah, they're on the news.
Oh,
like, so
shit.
you can't go.
Oh,
anymore.
okay. No, I'm good.
After that, no one's gone really.
Yeah.
Except for the crazy people. You know who I actually saw there? And I want to say rest in peace to her. B-word.
Really?
Yeah, I saw her. That was the first and last
Wow.
time I've ever met B-word. So I want to say shout out Fantastic 420. Well, his name is Sketchy Johns now, but and B-word. I forgot the other guy. I think it was John probably, but yeah, that was the first and last time I went there. I saw her. But yeah, that Malibu bando was sick, man. It's just I have so many memories on that one too, and the other one, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it so far. But that I really remember.
So do you mostly find your spots by word of mouth?
In the beginning, I was a really impatient, mad kid. So like, I was like, why don't these people want to give me bando locations? You know, like I fucking love bandos. You know,
Yeah.
tear them down.
Yeah.
So I used to have this thing on my you know, I could read like the, I don't want to say specifically, but I could read information on like how people edit their photos and like where like the coordinates of where they shot pretty much. So I would just be like, oh, okay, motherfucker. Like, you don't want to tell me I got your photo right here. And I would just go. Like, I would just go. Or sometimes I had like, a list of them, but I just didn't go because I didn't really have a car back in the day or, excuse me, you know, friends to go with because the bandos are kind of like scary to go to. So that note is long gone now. But I used to do that. And then when I got established was one more word of mouth and hey, you know, let's go to this, let's go to that. And I was like, cool, you know. Also, I forgot, around the Salton area, there's also, like, a bunch of bandos there, too. So,
Yeah.
Because
that's out in the middle of, like, nowhere.
Yeah. Hey, if you go in the middle of nowhere, chances
there's
are...
going to be a bando, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, word of mouth. And then now it's kind of like, people just kind of, like, say, hey, have you been here? And it's just like, nah, man. You know, like, I'm busy now, dude. But, yeah, in the beginning, it was just like, no one's going to tell me. And now it's just like, all right, just like, you want to give me the Addy or not? All right, cool. All right, like, yeah, that's cool. But yeah.
So for me, like, the cool thing about abandoned buildings and like one of the most unique aspects of it for me is that it's one of the last places we have in this country / in the world, because I explore internationally as well. You know, I explore everywhere.
I hate you. I'm so jealous.
But it's like the one place where there's nobody's watching you. There's no surveillance.
No,
like there's no
there
cameras.
isn't. No,
like you're not being monitored by the government or anybody.
No, well, only if there's alarms.
Unless there's alarms.
And that's where I kind of go back, and I forgot to say that I also did this. Can I go back real quick?
Yeah.
I did this hospital, and I told you the story on the because we did our podcast, or you did my podcast.
Yeah, shout out Mom's Garage Pod.
And oh, thank you, appreciate it. and yeah, we did. I did a hospital too, and yeah, sure, there isn't any government interference, like they're watching you really, but take in mind, this is one of the dangers of bandos, that there's like 1 out of 10, like that bando probably has an alarm. Like if you're in Cali, if you're like over in the East Coast, it's like 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10. But like over here, it's like 1 out of 10, 0.5 out of 10. And this one just had to have like 3 alarms, dude. And we should have just walked away while we had the chance because the alarm was already going off when we like parked our car. So because these are like these 2 tigers on the wall, like tagging already. We were like, what's that noise? And it stopped, and we were like, oh, okay, whatever. We ended up hitting this mall, and I was with like 3-4 guys, and it was like Josher, 22, 77 dead, and some other guy I forgot. And we're walking around this bando, like how they got in, how do we get in, you know? And we had to go through this window, and we got into the window. You know, it took us like 20 minutes to find that entrance. Go into the window, shoot a couple things. It was kind of boring, really. And then we go down to the first floor, and I'm like second or third in the line following this guy, and he goes, stop, shh. And he just like, stops, and we all stop. And literally like 2 seconds later, all you hear is, woo, 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 like just like the alarm, and we're like, oh shit, we gotta go.
Oh my God.
So we run all the way back up, and we get out of that window, we run to our car, and we just wait. And then we just hear it go off, and we're like, oh, no cops. Let's go back. You know what I mean? So we just go back again. And so we go in there again, and then we don't trip that alarm. We go somewhere else, and we go to this hallway. We obviously tripped the alarm again, and oh no! I was in the hallway taking a picture of the hallway. I was so scared out of my mind. I did not want to leave that area. And so what happened was that there was one hospital, and then there was a bridge that connected to the other part of the hospital. So I was in that part. My homies went into the second part. And they're like, Chamo, come on. I was like, nah, dog, I don't want to go, you know. And they tripped the alarm, and I was like, oh, shit. But literally 10 seconds later, the alarm stopped. Like, the actual, like, alarms, not the actual alarm, but just the noise.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say this, because, well, they're not going to know who it is anyways, or what hospital. But they took out the actual alarms that were making the noise, and they cut the wires out. Like, they pulled them down, and the wires snapped.
Wow.
All 3 of them, and I was like, "Oh my god, you sons of bitches! Like that's crazy." So we just but the only the sound was off, but the actual alarm was still probably going.
Yeah, in the
somewhere.
system.
Yeah, it was still going. Like this alarm has probably been going off 5 times for the past like 2 hours.
Yeah. So the people that are getting the notification are probably like, "There's probably nothing. There's probably a raccoon running around inside the fucking bando,
or a cracky,
or
something,
yeah.
whatever, you know."
Yeah.
And we're doing our thing, you know. We're taking photos, and it's an amazing like. It's sick. No surgical rooms really, no like crazy like surgery rooms, but it's sick. And then we get to the end, like literally the last 4 minutes, and we're just walking around this hallway. This hallway is probably like 20 doors down. It's pretty deep, you know. And we're just chilling, you know. It's all 4 of us. We're just going through every room. It looks the same, whatever. And how do I explain this? How do I explain this hallway? It's just imagine a hallway. It's brown because of the lighting inside, or like orange. And every side, the right and left side, has 10 doors each, maybe 20, you know, whatever. And when we're walking, we're opening each door, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And we hear footsteps that are really loud, like deep and loud, and it's not ours. So we stop walking, and we look at each other, and there's someone walking. We're like, oh, fuck, you know. And the hairs on my back are like raised, like goosebumps. And it's a cop, and all I literally hear is just whatever, something city PD, get on the floor right now, blah blah blah, like surrender. And we looked at each other, and like telepathically, like we said the words like
run.
You know that song?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 run. Yeah, and we just booked it down the fucking hallway, like fucking just go. Oh my god, don't look back. Fuck the cops, you know what I mean? And we got to the end, and like, and what should have been an exit, like push this for an exit, alarm will sound. It was chained up, taped. Like there's no way. There was literally no way. Like you could not get through that. The door on our left was also the same thing. You could not go. And the door on our right didn't have anything. I literally read, push here for and I just kicked that shit open. Like I just kicked it open. Like I do not care right now. And then we went to this room, and the other exit door, it was pretty dark, but the other exit door for that room was like blue laminated tape or some shit. I didn't care. I just kicked that shit too. Well, I didn't kick it. I'd like Hulk bulldozer that shit down. And then we ended up in this back lot, like parking lot, and our next thing is like, oh, now there's 8-9 foot gates that curve inside, so you can't even like
jump out.
Yeah,
you can't climb it.
These black pole gates. You can't even climb. You can't do anything. And we're looking around. I'm like, oh shit. And I get closer to the fucking gate, and I look back to the entrance of where we entered at, and there's 2 or 3 squad cars, like not just like the little Dodgers, like the actual like sedans, like the 4-door, like
wow,
maybe K9, I don't know, but like, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die here. Like this is like where my career ends. This is where I go to jail. I'm done. And I just found this hole in the like these 2 bars. One was like just slanted to the right a little bit, so it was like someone obviously like tried to get in out there, and we just took our backpacks off, slid in there, and just ran to my car, and booked it. And then we stopped at a gas station and just like had a process what we ran away from cops, like
yeah.
Oh my god.
And it's like one of those things, like fight or flight is like a real thing.
Oh my
whenever
god.
It comes to that.
You
whenever
don't know.
Because, well, first of all, you don't, like, you may hear like whatever PD, but you just hear there's a fucking stranger in here.
Yeah.
I don't know who this is. It's
Yeah.
a dark place. I got to get the fuck out.
Because you don't
now.
know what they have.
You don't know what they have.
A gun.
Yeah.
A sword,
a meth needle.
I don't know. They could have a sword for all I care.
Yeah.
Like nunchucks. I need to get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like I need to get out. So
it's scary.
And if you don't know what fight or flight is, it's kind of like
it's like your
like
instincts
anxiety.
kick
Like,
in.
When your survival instincts kick in,
Yeah.
your anxiety.
Some people
adrenaline
fight, or some people run the fuck
yeah.
away.
And usually you run the fuck away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I'm not gonna fight a cop. We're not one's gonna fight a cop.
No one's gonna
you know
fight
what
a
I
cop.
mean? And so, and that happened, and we just and literally I looked at all those guys, and I was like, I am never shooting with any of you motherfuckers again. And guess what? It's true. I have not shot with those motherfuckers ever again. Not in that way, but like we're cool with it. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What was the question? Yeah.
Not having surveillance or anything like that inside.
So for the most part, all of them, you kind of
unless
just
there's like alarms, silent alarms, things like that.
Yeah. Unless they have security guards, but they don't go in. They don't go inside. They don't get paid
they don't
much.
they don't want to risk their safety to go inside and see who the fuck's in there.
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
Unless because that Hawthorne Mall is used a lot for movie sets.
Right.
So okay, like obviously I don't want to ruin their set. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So it's like okay, I'll just not leave. I'll take a picture of the set with there, but like I'm not gonna touch it. But it is what it is. And if they kick you out, they're not gonna arrest you. Like officers,
security guards have no power to.
Yeah, they have.
First of all,
even if they tell you, hey, stop. No, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Like you are not the law. Like no. You can just literally run away from them, which I don't really give a fuck about. But cops, I know. Let's talk about the dangers of bandos.
That's what we should talk about. Dangers of bandos.
What should be number one?
First of all, don't ever go by yourself.
Oh, that's right.
Don't ever go by yourself.
Especially if you're a girl.
Especially if you're a girl.
Not trying to be sexist.
No,
not at all.
like I literally was texting Chamo the other day trying to see if he was free today to go explore some bandos because I just had a photography book come out. Yo, shout out. You guys can go get my book at justtheletterk.com/no-tracers.
Congrats on the new book.
Thank you, man.
Sick.
My first photo book. So I was trying to see like if he was free, and I was hitting up a couple people because there's a couple people I explore with, and I wanted to see who was free, and you were free, and you were like, oh, I don't know, like if I really want to go, and I was like, okay, well I can't go by myself. Like,
right, that's true.
I'm a girl, like,
and that's where I felt bad.
Sorry,
I was like,
bro.
Oh.
Like you're responsible for me now.
You can even see my text messages. I was like, oh,
yeah,
fuck, you're
yeah.
right. I was like, shit. Yeah.
Not to like.
No,
pull
that's
that
totally
card,
cool,
but
yeah.
it's a fucking thing, man. Like, I don't want to go into an abandoned building by myself and get raped.
Never.
Fuck
like, no,
that.
No, it's true. Or killed
or whatever.
Or like even step on a nail and you're bleeding out.
Yeah, if you break your leg, if you fall off a thing, fall through a floor, and there's nobody with you, like...
Oh, yeah, no, you're done.
You're done for.
I'm sorry, my
oh, you're
phone's
good, no
going
worries.
off. Sorry about that. But, yeah, dude. And I think that's number one is don't go by yourself. I don't care if you're a macho... Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the 90s guy or whatever, really. Like, just don't go by yourself because you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
I've had crackies in my face. I've had knives. Swords, imagine. I had knives, guns, talked to cops, security guards, falling through floors. I never stepped on a nail, but I've had glass with shards, like cut me too, It's just like, you never know. That's number one. You really have to, just never go by yourself. I've done it, but sometimes I've gotten pretty lucky, but never go by yourself. I think that's number one for sure.
And I think the thought process is different between, a guy and a girl wanting to do this kind of stuff. Because I mean, in a sense, because I mean, you're not thinking like, oh, I might get raped if I go to this place.
I mean, I could get raped.
You totally
I don't
could get
want
raped.
to.
Right.
You know, because there's crazy people out there, dude.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's not like the first thought on your mind when you're like,
for
I might go to the spot.
It's just getting caught. Like, that's it. Because think about this. Like, if you drive an hour or two and you get caught, it's like, dude, what's the point then? You know,
just wasted that whole
gas,
day.
money,
Yeah.
and like I could have woken up at 10, you know, not like 8 or whatever. But that's just me. But yeah, I think that's number 1. Number 2, and I did this today. Don't fucking wear shorts. Like, please don't. Like, really, just don't. Well, don't. Unless it's like that bando, like I could probably take you over there, like the one in my area. It's super like nice. There's nothing on the floor. You know, totally fine. Sure, why not? But like today was like 95 degrees and it was so freaking hot.
It was so hot.
But I wish I would have worn pants.
Yeah.
Because I think something like bit me and I was kind of itching for a while too. And I was like, oh God.
And it could have been a plant you walked past
Anything.
and just brushed up against. It could have been.
Because in the desert, you have those tumbleweeds. You remember that second bando we went to? And I was like, shit, man.
There was tumbleweeds in the bando.
Yeah, and then remember when I jumped out that I didn't jump out of a window on the second floor, but like the last bando, the third one we went to.
Yeah.
I jumped off and that piece of like glass went
like
up.
Grazed you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like, oh shit, that could have been like really serious, you know, or anything like little small things there. Don't wear shorts, man, and just wear like pants. Like I know it's hot, bro or girl, you know, like it's hot. Wear some blue jeans, you know, some leggings. I don't care. Just something that, like, if something brushes on you, you're not going to, like, die. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think that's number 2. Number 3, the dangers.
Or just notes. Bring water.
Oh, yeah, bring water.
Water's hell important.
Yeah.
People don't think about that.
Yeah, people don't, like, oh, I'm going to do this, like, an hour. No. Like, and it's not like you just walk in, like a fucking mall door. It just opens, you know? Like, no, you have to go in somewhere, go under a gate or something.
Yep.
So bring, because I remember I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to bring water. I only brought 2. And you were like, bring more. And I was like, oh yeah, definitely. It's going to be hot. So we brought like 4 or 5 waters, sodas and all that. Don't bring like a 5-course dinner. Just bring like some snacks, you know, that'll like some Ritz crackers or something.
And the
like
thing
that.
with like bringing snacks and stuff, like what happens if the cops show up and you have to hide in there for 5 hours?
Oh yeah,
and you're gonna be fucking hungry.
Yeah, I heard stories where like people are like, I am dying.
Yeah,
like I was there for 5. Like Pimp My Camel. Have you heard of Pimp My Camel?
No,
he's an OG. So is Fantastic 420, and they just had stories on like, yeah, man, like I hid from the cops for like 5 hours until they fucking left, and like I was like starving and thirsty, and all I had was like some Ritz crackers and like half a bottle of water, and I was like, dude, that's better than like having nothing at all. You know what I mean? Like you could have fucking died. So yeah, bring that too. Also, what I forgot to bring today, hand sanitizer.
Yeah, I didn't bring any either. And the whole time you're just like, and like you went to take a piss, and I was like, he's gonna touch his dick with his dirty ass hands.
You're touching like railings and dirty stuff. There's no
asbestos and like.
It just like bring gloves
door
too.
handles.
I guess you could say.
Yeah, we didn't do that either today.
But it was hot.
It was really hot today.
I like how you told everyone I took. I mean, it happens.
Right? I took a piss in the bando.
Yeah,
I had to pee.
So
you gotta pee.
Think of holding your camera and touching like asbestos and wood and metal and you know and yourself and food and other and your stuff. You know, it's like you gotta bring hand sanitizer for sure. Gloves. Yeah, you could definitely do that too. That's another one. Also, just watch out for crackies, man. I know the East Coast. Shout out my East Coast people. Y'all carry straps with you. Y'all strapped.
Yeah, true.
Like all my homies are strapped. You feel me? And hey, that's a normal thing. I'm scared, man. I really don't, cause I can't do that. But like over here,
that's too much responsibility for me to have a gun.
Because if you get caught with that and you don't got a license, let's just say, you know,
well, you're going to jail.
You're going to go, especially in California. Like
especially here, they don't fuck around with that, or they'll just shoot you.
Or they'll shoot you because cops are just trigger happy. Yeah. Like no one's business.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say bring protection, like maybe just a knife, but not a butterfly knife. That's obviously illegal. Bring like a pocket knife or something where you know it's easily accessible, but it also won't kill you if you fall on it wrong or something like that. I've never really brought anything. I have like my tripods, and I would just like smash a guy.
Smash somebody
if I have
with
to.
a tripod.
Yeah. Or these fists. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm really skinny. If no one knows me, I'm really skinny. But I think that's one of those too. And then, you know, just look at the cops, you know. If you get caught by a security guard, look, you can talk your way out of it. Like,
oh, totally.
You really can.
You can totally talk your way out of it.
They do not care for it, you know. But like for a cop,
especially if you're a photographer and you're not tagging and you're not defacing property and you're not fucking up and you're not doing
literally
drugs.
what you say.
Yeah.
Like, hey man,
like I'm a photographer.
Just taking pictures.
Yeah.
I can show you.
Yeah.
You know, and just do that. You know what I mean? even for cops, just be like, hey, you know what? I'm not. If they let you talk, I'm not a tagger. I'm not a gang member. I'm just a photographer. I've been doing this. Okay, I don't say this. Don't be like, oh, I've been doing this for like 5 years and never got caught. Just be like, hey, I'm just a beginner. I just thought this was cool, And sometimes you could get away with it with a cop. Sometimes they're gonna call for backup or whatever. Yeah. But I've never been like charged. Like
neither have I.
Never been charged. Like knock on wood for sure. Like I've never been charged. I have been detained, but that's not a bando thing.
That was for a photo meet.
That's also for photo meet and SF. Yeah, but for bandos, definitely. Like if you get caught, look, 1 out of 10, they'll let you keep shooting. Maybe for like a limited amount of time. Like okay, you have
like
half
an hour or whatever.
You get a cool cop. Like rarely, but he's like the coolest thing ever. Like okay, like go ahead. But
yeah, I've had cops tell me like you can go in, but if another cop sees you, I can't help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of stuff,
you're on your own,
which is cool.
And I don't know you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's cool. Like whatever, And
like respect.
Right, exactly. Well, we don't like cops, but still, like whatever. But if they tell you to leave, just fucking leave, dude. Like honestly, because it's not worth the risk of getting caught and then going to jail and having that on your record or a misdemeanor or whatever. So, for sure, I think that's really all the dangers I want to say. Other than like watch out for needles because there's some drug addicts there.
Yeah, for sure.
Watch out for the crackies.
Yeah.
Oh, another bando I hit, the Downey.
Insane Asylum.
Salem Asylum, yeah. With also that girl who likes me and whatever. Well, I don't know. I don't want to talk about that, but yeah, with that girl too. With her was the cat lady. Be careful with the cat lady. You saw the cat lady. I saw the cat lady, and then she was like, "Oh, don't talk to her. She's a snitch." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And she explained to me the story.
Wait, explain the story of the cat lady.
So the cat lady just obviously just lives there, and she has cats, but she has a deal with the cops. She can live there as long as she wants, as long as she helps out the cops with the intruders and the trespassers, pretty much. So she gets like, not like a bonus, she just gets to live there, you know what I mean? And she's secluded from everyone, but she catches you, you're done. Like, that's literally it. Yeah, just be careful with all that type of stuff, man. Just know where you're going,
Let's talk about energy. In bandos.
Energy?
Like, we were in that bando today, and you were like, I'm not feeling, we shouldn't go this way. No. What is that? Like, what is that about certain places we go in these bands? Like, Downey Insane Asylum, I felt it there.
I felt it there,
I felt it today.
I felt it there and today. Oh, my God. It's weird because...
And we both literally at the same time, you were like, I was like,
Yeah, right at the same time.
Yeah, we like walked into it.
It's that feeling where... something supernatural. You feel like something supernatural is looking at you. Like someone's
in the darkness. Somebody's watching you.
Have you ever had? And I'm not even talking to Kay. I'm talking to anyone here. Like when you're sleeping, you just feel like someone is just staring at you. And so we're walking to this bando, which by the way, I've been here 25 times probably. Like it's a no-brainer. I know that place like kind of like the back of my hand. Sorry, I'm getting group messages here, but I'm going down this hall and I'm like, okay, cool. And all of a sudden, I get this like adrenaline shock to my back, and I'm just like,
and it kind of goes like,
woof, and it's just like
you like went into a wave.
Yeah, it's enclosing you. Yeah. And I feel like I looked back and you were like, you looked at the floor and you're like, oh, and I was like, are you getting a weird feeling? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, let's get the fuck out of here because I am not doing this shit. There's things I will do, like I'll do a lot, but like if I get that feeling. And I don't have a knife or a cross and holy water, I am not going, because we were in a dark hallway. And literally in front of us was just darkness. There was no light coming
through
anymore.
And to the left side of us was another dark hallway.
Yeah, and like literally...
like not dark, like literally pitch black.
Pitch black. And it's funny because there's light in there.
There's light in there.
And the light
but not
and
in
the
these
dark,
like sections. And they clash so hard.
Yeah, I'm feeling it right now actually. But yeah, like...
just thinking about it.
I was just like, oh no, like... something's gonna happen, like some like omen, I don't know,
or
something,
demons, or
like those
ghosts will come home with you. Like
the
the
twins from The Shining.
Yeah.
Like part 3 is gonna come out like right
and
now.
And it's weird, man. Like if you don't believe in that kind of stuff, like I'm telling you, it's out there.
You believe in that?
I grew up with it.
Yeah, same.
I grew up with my grandparents owned a old plantation house.
Yeah,
and there were like 3 ghosts. There was a little girl that would run up and down the hallway and like, dude. Yeah. So I mean, I grew up with like the supernatural, but like you can really feel it in some of these different places that you go into, for sure.
You just feel it, dude. Like I'm glad you can feel it before you actually see it. That's my
I mean, that's the greatest. If only every danger was like that.
Oh, seriously. But look, there's some people who are like, no, man, it's cool. Like, I don't know, man. I'm really kind of like 50-50 on those type of people. But if I sense something that there's like an immediate danger for sure, especially with like a woman, I'm like, I'm out. Like, I'm not gonna do this either.
Yeah.
You feel me? So yeah, I've done that, you know, and even in the hospitals, you know, because there's people have died there, dude.
Literally.
Like you're walking in history. That's another cool thing about bandits. You're walking in history, but sometimes it's not good history. Sometimes these people, ghosts, are just like looking at you, probably like, hey, like you're
disturbing our peace
I'm
here.
just trying to sleep and like do the same thing for the next eternity, you know. So it's like, all right, my bad, you know. But like, I just you get that feeling too. Like you're in a surgery room. Like I was in one of the morgues and I just felt it. I was like, I almost cried too. Like as a guy, I was just like, dude, I need to get the fuck out. Like,
and it's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. It's like not just like adrenaline, like, oh, like I gotta run. Like you it's like what do you even do to a ghost? You can't hit a ghost. Like
no, you can't do anything.
Whatever, you know, like and I remember walking back from that from the hallway we were at that bando, and I kept looking back. I was like, I swear to God, if I see a fucking twins or like something, a ghost, like, I'm running, like seriously. But I would knock on wood, you know, and all that type of stuff. But like, I think I watch too many movies sometimes. But yeah, that energy is just.
But it's crazy because like to reaffirm that it's so real is like literally we felt it at this. We walked past a threshold.
Yeah. Yeah, you felt that, right? Like, we walked.
We walked into another dimension, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Literally.
And we walked
into
out,
the fourth dimension.
Hopefully,
we totally walked back out. I felt it when we walked out. It's crazy, dude.
Like even the hairs on your legs will go up.
Yeah,
dude. It's bad.
Straight up.
And this is not even a Cali thing. It's like everywhere. Like bandos everywhere. Not even bandos, but like
just places.
We're talking about bandos. Like,
but yeah,
like sketchy places like that. It's. People know what we're talking about. Like if you've been to bando,
if you've experienced it, you know exactly
what
we're
talking about. So,
and I mean, I've been in places that are like have really fucked up history. You know, I've been to like a boys' prison where they like abused all the boys and shit. Like really,
scary.
like really fucked up shit has happened in some of these places. You know, but like
no thanks.
So let me ask you, let's wrap this up a little bit.
Okay.
What is something you know now that you wish you knew when you started photography?
Oh jeez. Something I wish I knew before when I started photography.
Or exploring bandos, either.
Honestly, just have people you trust, because I have shot people. I have shot with people who are like kind of iffy, and you know my intentions were right, you know, so I don't really shoot with them. They put me in danger, or my friends or whatever. So shoot with people that you trust, oh man, I don't know, because I could talk about like the networking or like the bandos or just photography in general. But I guess if you just want to talk about bandos, just go with people who you trust for sure, and make sure you research the place. It might be exciting to be like, oh yeah, I found this new like prison, let's go, you know, and your homies are like, yeah, let's just go, and it's just like it's not open, or there's like just a bunch of drug addicts there, like there's cops everywhere, you know, and they arrest you before you even like get into the building. So just redo your research, go with people you trust.
And for research, guys, you can even go on forums or even Instagram.
Yeah,
you know, like
I didn't even know about that.
There's like UE, there's Atlas Obscura.
Yeah.
There's people out there that are writing about this stuff, you know.
There's even Facebook groups at this point.
Oh,
too.
yeah, there's tons. I'm a part of a ton of like Urbex Facebook groups.
Yeah, same.
It's awesome.
Same. So do that, you know, and it's not a competition. Like, I think a lot of the people in the bando community like make it like it's a competition. Like, oh, this is my bando. This is my bando.
Right.
Not really, you know. Even if your name is tagged on it, kind of shitty. Like, it's not your bando. You know, like every bando is private property. Don't trash it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's beautiful in their own way. And if you don't think they're beautiful, look up Urbex photographers who aren't on Instagram and just on like they have their own websites. They make them very beautiful. So. Don't trash them. Know what you're doing, where you're going at all times. Be nice and courteous. You know, not a competition. It's all for fun. 20 times out of 21 times, you're not getting paid for this shit. Let's be honest.
True.
So, like, it's a very small percentage that you're getting paid for this. It's just for fun. Be safe. And just have fun with it, honestly.
And then one thing we totally we just glossed over is the nostalgia texts. your photo books.
Oh shit! Well, how much time you got? No, I'm
I
kidding.
mean, we got time.
So for those, I think that's how I kind of started the name was Nostalgic Text, and this also kind of goes, back to the beginning when I was super depressed about my ex, and family was not helping, So for me, not to like, but be like, oh my god, look at me, I'm like totally mental awareness, and nothing. I've been depressed since I was like fucking 9 for sure, 8 or 9, because the way I live and all that type of stuff. So blah blah blah, whatever. So, so in high school, it got really bad because of the breakup and my family and my friends and all that type of stuff. And I'm kind of the guy, like, I've noticed this even before I even have a cell phone. I don't really talk to people. I don't contact them. I don't text them. I'm better at it now, but like I don't do anything. So like I was very to myself. And so I couldn't really talk to anyone about my depression. My friends were kind of like annoyed, and my mom and dad don't care. They're Hispanic. I'm Hispanic. They're Mexican. Like, depression is not a thing to them, They're like, oh yeah, you're depressed? Why don't you go fucking sweep to keep yourself busy,
Yeah.
It's just like that type of stuff. My sister was super young, so I couldn't talk to her, obviously. So I had no one. And as an art, I knew I was kind of like an artist guy, just the way I kind of thought and was. So, and just telling people, hey, I'm sad and I'm depressed and I need help, wasn't even cutting it to anyone anymore. It was just like, oh, like they would just talk over me or like get me in trouble, like, oh, that's your fault, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, all right, well, that's cool, whatever. And I just kind of wouldn't stop talking. So I also, like, back in the day when Tumblr was super poppin', I would see like these really moody forests, and I was like, yeah, this makes me feel something, it makes me feel sad, but like in a good way. I feel good, But I was like, what's missing here? And I specifically remember the image is burned into my head. It was just like, obviously some green trees, and it was like mist, like what do you call that, mist or
fog.
Like fog? Yeah, thank you, like fog, and then it's just like super like kind of like a zombie apocalypse type thing, And I was like, dude, this is like so good, but what's it missing? And I was like words, like words. It needs words. So I got that image and I went to Photoshop. I put some words in it, like I'm sad, some bullshit, and I was like, yeah, this makes me feel even better,
Yeah.
And, me with a like super shitty pixelated JPEG and like some words on it. And I was like, no, but it has to be something better, Like I'm sure people have done this before. So, and I took a contemporary class in college and I got an A+. That's how I knew I was an artist too. It's like just A's, B's, C's on everything else, and like A's like in art, contemporary art history. And like, I was like, what does this need? Something that like I can break the rules and like I can relate to everyone. And I was like, oh, a fucking Post-it note. And I was like, no, that's not gonna fucking work either. And I kept thinking about it. I was like, and I got a text message from like someone. She was like really sad, and I was like, oh, shit, oh, And I was like, okay, how do I crop this out? You know what I mean? But the first text message wasn't even her. The first nostalgia text wasn't her. It was, I made it up. I made up the first text message, and I've said that before. Everything else is like, I think the first two are fake, and everything else is real. The first text message said, if you pay attention, if you only pay attention, wait, no, what was it? It was, if you paid attention to me, you'd fall in love with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was because I was thinking about my ex, though. Like,
Yeah.
oh, if you pay attention to me, you'd be in love with me,
Yeah.
So I started making text messages to like relate to everyone without talking to anyone.
Wow.
Like physically, like the way we're talking, like I'm gonna like, here's this cup, let's say it makes you sad, and people look at it and you're like, wow, what the fuck? Like, why'd you just give me this thing? Why'd you give me, like, I wasn't expecting this. It's like, yeah, well, I wasn't expecting a lot of answers that I got when I was a kid. So I started to do that. And that photo was like, the background was like a mountain that I shot right here in Mount Baldy, like it was nothing special. That was my first made up one. And I posted it. And I posted it on my, like, the account I have now, actually. It's still on there, I think. And it got mixed reviews. I got unfollowed by some people because they were like just tired of my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they were like, this kid won't shut up
like
about his fucking depression.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then
your friends suck. Get new friends.
Yeah, I did get new friends. Look at me now.
Yeah, right.
I party with celebrities now.
Hell yeah, boy.
And then so I got unfollowed some, and then some people were like, "Yeah, this is really good, you know, like this is cool." And I never really like commented back. I was like, "Oh, you know, cool, thanks," you know. I was just doing my own thing, and I just kept doing it. And I kept doing it until like, and that really helped me out with my depression. It was like almost as I was talking to my art, like, this is how I feel. I'm gonna do this to you, and you're gonna like it, like in a really mean way. And I put it out, and then people were just like, "Oh shit." And then people started asking me, like, "Are these real? Are these real?" And that was the second one I've done. And I was like, "No, like they're not. But I'm gonna start making them real, you know." And then I just started taking all these text messages throughout my life, ones that I physically had or could remember, 100% real. Like, I'm gonna put this person on blast, and I don't give a shit. Like, because when you're depressed, you have nothing to lose anymore. You know?
True.
And not
you're
to, like,
at the end of your rope, if you will.
And not to like go on a tangent, but like I tried to kill myself like 5 times already.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So like drugs, and I've been to hospital too. I don't want to tell. I'll tell you later, like which one. But I've been institutionalized too. So like I was just like I had nothing to lose anymore. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep putting these messages on top of pictures because that's what I'm gonna fucking do. So just kept doing that, and then sure enough. I think I'm probably on my 100th one. It's not a lot. I don't do them every week or every day, you know. I've been doing them kind of less and less nowadays, but I just kept doing them.
Probably because you're less and less depressed these days.
I've been good. Yeah, I've been
awesome.
Really, thank you. I've been really better, but that literally in a weird way, not in a like an international, not even like in a country. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it blew up. Like,
yeah,
like I can remember the top ones that like blew up. And I don't know. I wasn't even thinking about money. I wasn't thinking about anyone else's feelings or anyone. Like, I still get text messages from this to this day. Like, "Hey, are you gonna take that down now? That's me. Can you take that? Can you take that down? Like, I will sue you." And I'm like, "No. Like, try it. Like my dad knows lawyers. Like, fucking try it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, and it's just like, it's the most funniest.
And you're not like putting these people's names out there.
No.
You're just putting the text, so nobody knows except for you and them.
The funny thing is, I made a book. The second book I made, or third one, I forgot now. I actually, this girl and I were, I don't want to say it. Let's just say we had, let's just say messing around, And I really liked her, but she wouldn't text me back. She was ghosting me, so I was like, I'm mad, and I just like unfollowed her. And she's like, "Oh my god, really?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, blah blah blah." She ended up dissing me. She was a fan. Let's just say she was a fan.
Oh, okay.
And so she made her own before she like went to California to come meet me or whatever. And she dissed me on my own, like the way I do stuff, like on my own. She did a nostalgia text about me.
Wow.
And people like DM'd me. They're like, "Oh, is this you? Did you do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." She's like, and then they were like, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" And I was like, "No, nothing. Like, they're like, whatever. I don't care about her. And I even to this day I don't fucking care about you if you're listening to this. But on my new the latest book, I ended up putting her name on a text like for the first time. Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone else, I'll like if there's a name, I'll crop it out or I'll like
scratch it out,
like whatever.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. Or like even like edit it out. But like for her, I was like, no, I'm gonna fucking say this. And if you want to see it, you're gonna have to fucking buy it, or you know what I mean? I was like, I don't give a fuck about you, dude. So, I would say it on the podcast, but I don't want to say it. It's your podcast, and I respect you and your podcast.
Thank you, appreciate it.
But yeah, she's the only one that I like put a name on. Everyone else though is like I'll post it, and then they'll text me or like something or DM me. They'll be like, "Hey, can you like not?" You know what I mean?
Not post it.
Yeah, like, can you not do this? Or that wasn't even true. But it's just like, yeah, I have like the actual text message. So
it was true. Sorry.
Yeah. So that really helped me out to become the artist I am today, and to really just, learn Photoshop as well. And I think the thing about depression and all that is like you just have to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
And a weird way you kind of get numb about it, and you kind of just like, no, you don't really forget, but you don't really feel it anymore. You feel better about yourself. So every time I would post a picture, I'd feel so relieved and so good. Like I put it out to the world. No one wants to listen to me, but it's out there if anyone wants to listen to. And I started to grow a fucking cult audience.
Yeah.
Like
because it's a super specific fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a super specific thing. Like my goal was to make people not like lonely anymore.
Right.
Like, hey, you want to talk to me? Talk to me. You know, I would have like 3 a.m. conversations, and I had to go to work at like 5 or not 6, but like 7 or 8, like talking to these people like, yo, bro, I want to kill myself and like all this type of stuff. It's like, hey, dude, like I know what you're going through, but you gotta pull through. You feel me? Like you're only 17, you're 20, you got your life ahead of you. You know, like two depressing kids talking to each other. You know,
Yeah.
like all that type of stuff. And I never did it for money or attention. I just did it because whatever. And I just talked to these kids, you know, and there's a lot of kids out there who don't have like people to talk to, you know, their neighbors, their moms, their parents, the mom and dad, like even their dog probably just walks away from them, you know, and it's just like, it's sad because like these kids like could have been the next big thing or had, it's just like, it's sad, dude. And like, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be there either. So I just did that for, you know, the kids who are like struggling the most and all that type of stuff. And I also, and when I started mastering my craft, you know, I started implementing bandos into it because bandos, like I said in the beginning, so raw. They're just, sometimes they're sad and depressing. They're just
and you
alone.
related so much, yeah.
Just being alone and broken, boom, two things that I relate to, and like I think a lot of people can relate to also. And it's just like, why I can just put something literal and put something metaphorical and put them together and just be like, hey, this is like what I feel. This is what happened to me probably last week. Here's a text message. Here's a bando. You know, I probably drove 30 minutes to it, and you know, while I was taking this picture, I was probably crying, or I was probably like super fucking depressed, and like I probably just like stood there after I just took that photo, like just trying to analyze what the fuck I'm gonna do with my life. So, and I just started mastering it, and then I started putting more moody effects and like grain, and it's even to this day it's popping. Like I don't do it anymore like as much, but there's still a cult following for sure. And I used to put my Instagram out there with like my Snapchat and all that, and sometimes, man, sorry about my voice.
Hit puberty for
puberty. I'm 24. I haven't hit puberty. Sometimes on my Snapchat, I would get like random Snapchats back in like 2014, like, "Hey, I need to fucking post another one. I'm gonna fucking kill you." Like, I swear to God,
Wow.
I've had people say that, maybe like in a joking way,
Sure.
but like no LOL, no nothing,
Yeah.
and it's just like, I need another one. I'm gonna kill you, and I was just like, I can't work like this, you know, and I
Yeah.
kind of just like strive away from that. But I've had a lot of people like, hey, when's the next one? When's the next one? So I ended up making a book because my friend was like, hey, you know, you could sell these. And I was like, I don't need money. I have my parents, you know. But I remember my parents don't really pay for anything. So I was like, all right, like, cool, let's do it. I made a book, I made 30 pages, and I made like $800 off
Holy
of it.
shit.
And think I'm like 18, 19, so that's kind of a lot of money, you
That's
know.
huge.
Coming out
Off
of high
of something
school,
you made.
Coming out of high school,
Yeah.
yeah, you know. And then it's like, cool. And I was like, I'm just going to save this money for the next one. And I didn't.
Because that's what happens with money.
I don't lie, but that one I kind of lied. I didn't know, really. And then so I made the second one and the third one. And there's people who, man, I don't even know anymore. Like, I was so grateful. The first book, I released it, and I ended up just giving random stuff out with it. I was like, yeah, you want a dream catcher? Fuck it. Have a dream catcher. You want some crayons? Fuck it. You want a dinosaur, a pet dinosaur? Fuck it. You know, like, I just, something cool and different. And I write notes.
That's cool.
I write notes too. Not like even in the book, but like on a piece of paper. Like, hey, thank you so much. By the way, I'm at a Norm's at 5:45 in the morning writing this shit. You know, I don't know what to say, but like, thank you. And I do that to all my books too. And I can keep going about this. Really, it's a lot on my mind. Because I don't really talk about this. Like I said, I don't talk about this type of stuff with anyone. This is my first podcast too. So I did all that for the lonely people and people who just need to like really think, like, you know, you're not really alone. Like I've been through it too, and you've probably been through worse than I have. Or it's not a competition. Like we all got to be here for each other. Because if we're not, then who's really here?
Yeah.
Where's the love at? You know, like life's not just about like making money and having nice cars and because that's because we're around that life a lot. You know, it's empty. Like sometimes I come home from like the little pump shoot and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, I can't do that lifestyle, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like, what people need is connection and love the most, so that's what I do, and I still sell the books here and there, and I'm working on my new one now. It's, like, on my laptop, so, yeah, so the nostalgic text came from my ex, and it's funny because I talked to her Stone, and I told her, you know, like, if I never broke up with you, like, I wouldn't be here. Like, either maybe alive, or maybe I'd just be some fucking normal kid with no interest in photography and art. You know, so I still thank her to this day. Like, you know, it's just trippy, like the way my life turned for the best. I guess I could say. I don't know, Oh, that was a lot.
That was a lot.
That was a lot. I've never done a podcast and talked about this shit really. Usually it's just like documentaries and it's just like, okay, 30 minutes done. And I'm like, okay, cool, I guess.
Well, hey, thank you for opening up and sharing all of that with people. I know
that was sick.
Yeah, it's super cool for me to also get to know you more on a personal level, you know, through this podcast, which I think is super rad.
I think people are going to listen to this and then they're going to text me like, oh my God, I didn't know. I was like, dude, I did like 100 text messages. What are you talking about? Like, of course I'm fucking screaming for help here. You know what I mean?
Right?
But like, hey, it is what it is. And if I do talk to you like 3 a.m. or you check on me, I check on you, you know, just keep talking to me, man. 'Cause we got some stuff to sort out and stuff like that. Talk about.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where can people find you and where can they pick up a copy of one of your books?
The city I live in is no, I'm kidding. No.
My address is
my P.O. box.
I'll drop a pen.
From the IE or whatever. But my Instagram, dude, I changed my Instagram handle a lot. But it was Chamo. Hey Chamo, it's Chamo. Now it's Chamoisdead. So
which is my favorite.
Yeah. I just want Chamo, but some guy in Cambodia has it. He's not having it, so it's just.
That's okay. I'm trying to get just the letter K, and the girl won't follow me back, so I can ask her.
Really? Just the letter K?
Just the letter K.
Oh my God, that's the worst. Like I'll pay. Like you pay, right? Like,
I literally would pay.
I'll pay like $100. Like
yeah.
Chamo, if you're listening to this, fuck you. But like, so my Instagram is Chamoisdead. My Twitter is Killed Slob. I want to say. Don't ask why. I just like the word Killed Slob. Snapchat? I don't know. I don't really. That's like more like personal, I guess. If you want to follow my personal, it's Hey Chamo. I have a YouTube. It's Mom's Garage. Josh and I do it. Josh, shout out Josh. We just had Kay do it today. Actually, no, today, yesterday,
last night.
And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Where can they get the books?
Fuck, they're all sold out, dude. Thank God they're sold out.
Thank
but
God.
I'm sad, dude. I have people like, hey, can I have a book? I'm like, dude, it's been sold out for months, dude. I'm sorry. I only make like 30 copies, but the new one is gonna probably come out this year around tax return day. It's gonna be cheap for like $20. It's gonna be a new thing, so I'm gonna work on that. I got like 6 more to do, and yeah, I think that's it. Congrats on your book too.
Thank you.
I want to say I saw the book before anyone else, and it's sick. My favorite part is the 360 restaurant.
Yeah.
Where's it? Portugal?
Portugal.
Sick, dude.
Super cool.
It's super sick. All right, yeah.
Cool.
Well, how about that podcast, man? I hope you guys liked that. I hope that you learned a lot about exploring abandoned places, man. It's one of my favorite pastimes, and I love using abandoned places as the backdrops for my photography and my film projects. So I just want to say thank you again, Chamo, for having me on the podcast. If you guys want to listen to the podcast I was on with him, we dive into like my life story, how I got started in photography, all that stuff on his podcast. It's called Mom's Garage Pod. You can find it on YouTube. I'll put a link down in the description to it if it's out. But if it comes out at a later date, I'll still put it in this description down below for you guys to check that out if you are interested in it. But thank you again for listening to another episode of Project Freelance. If you know somebody that would want to be on this podcast, if you want to be on this podcast, if you're listening and you are a freelancer and maybe you want to be on this podcast, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at Project Freelance. I would love to hear from you. I would love to chat about having you on an episode, and I would love to get to know you more. If you want to pick up a copy of my photography book, go to justtheletterk.com/notracers. Pick up a copy for pre-order. They're going to be shipped out in August, and I cannot wait for you guys to see them. Thank you so very much for all of your support. If you liked this podcast, do me a favor, leave a rating down below or wherever you can leave ratings on your podcasting app of choice, and leave some feedback for other potential listeners that are looking for podcasts to listen to. It really helps us out. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys next week on Project Freelance. Go out, go create something, stay strong, and keep enduring, guys. Thank you.